Chris McMullen in the studio with me from Core Drilling Services. So from mechanic to driller.
I got a fax. So do you remember the old thermo faxes?
Yeah.
So it said, leave the rig immediately. Rebels are on the way to avenge the death of Jaguar. It was the name of a guy. You may get caught in the crossfire. So you've never seen someone try and pull out of a hole quick.
Mate, we need to make this into a movie somehow, right? This is bloody awesome, Chris.
So I bought my first rig at 27 or something years old. You know who your friends are when you've got a drill rig and you need something.
So you've been in the industry more than 25 years, mate?
I think that's wrong.
Is it? How many years?
35. Yeah.
Chris, you've been in the industry 35 years, mate?
Yeah.
Right? Welcome back to another episode on the Gold Room. Today, lucky enough to have Chris McMullen in the studio with me from Core Drilling Services. Chris, thank you very much for joining me, mate.
My pleasure, mate. How are you?
Bloody good. Usually no one really asks me how I'm going, but I'm bloody good.
On fire.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good.
Mate, we always, as you know, we start with the life and the times. So hit me with your early years. Perth boy?
Yeah, born and bred in Perth. Started life in Armidale.
Yeah.
So somewhat sketchy. It was still
Not now, mate.
I know.
She's on the up and up.
Yeah. And then from there up to...
Chris, I just have to say, out of every single guest that I've had on, mate, that voice, she's buttery.
I don't know.
It's bloody nice, mate, isn't it? Renee, right? Holy shit. Go anyway, mate. Sorry, I'm not bloody flirting with you.
No. Started life in Port Hedland, youngest of three, and then at an early age went up to... started in Armidale, and then from there to Port Hedland.
Yep.
And parents were... A government worker was my dad. Mum was in the hospital. And we stayed in Hedland for a while, started my education and all that in Hedland. And then my sister started, and when she came to high school, so I was the youngest of three, had to come back to Perth to start education for my older sister. And then came back, did my education here in Perth.
What high school?
I had a few.
Yep.
Yeah. So
A little naughty fella?
that happened, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's real. So, in year 9, the Christian brothers said that they weren't keen on me anymore and had to do 10 and 11 at a Catholic co-ed school. And then after that, I was starting an apprenticeship or did an apprenticeship as a mechanic.
So what school? Sorry, what age? What age did you leave school?
I was young. I was the youngest, one of the youngest. I was a December kid, and so I was out of school by 15.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing.
Well, it worked out all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did year 11.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I was the youngest. I don't know, you started school at 6 or something, or 5 or whatever. And then, so I finished school and got an apprenticeship before my 16th birthday.
Wow, beautiful.
And did year 11. And then did my apprenticeship.
In?
Mechanic.
Yep.
Yeah, and then small shop in Myree, south of the river.
Still operating today, is it?
Nah, he was a really good guy. No, he'd be old. He might. I'm not sure where he is now. But it was a good shop for learning cars, trucks, boats, buses. So I'm going to Freo Tech or TAFE and that, learning stuff there, or the stuff I'd learned, guys from the bigger dealerships had never seen.
Wow.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I got a good all-round general experience, and from that, went to Halls Creek as the Toyota mechanic, as a 19-year-old tradesman.
Wow, awesome, man.
And then that didn't last that long. I worked for a guy that wasn't overly cool. I was used to someone nurturing, caring, and it wasn't that environment.
You got someone with the whip out and telling you to jump on the broom.
I don't mind that, but safety.
Yeah.
So that was my first introduction to what a good workplace looked like and what a not good workplace looked like.
Awesome. It's all those little building blocks that assist you with building your own business in the future, isn't it?
Keeps you alive and keeps you with all your digits.
Yeah, that's the most important.
Yeah,
So from mechanic to driller.
Yeah. So 1990, the recession that we had to have.
Yep.
I
I wasn't here, brother. 2013 arrived in God's country.
This is not, nice. And that's WA, yeah?
WA, mate. Bloody oath.
So 1990, the recession that we had to have, a mechanic couldn't get maybe $13 an hour, $14 an hour. Like it was poor. and I got a job moving some stuff for a mining company that was shutting down one of their underground mine sites, and that was supposed to only last a day or two. I stretched that out to about 3 months.
Nice.
And then put my name down with the drilling division, and then it was back then you had to have a chest x-ray and a medical. So I went into the chest x-ray joint in Wellington Street, had my chest x-ray, did my medical, and I was on a plane at 4:30 or 5 o'clock the next morning. I'd never been awake at that stage unless I was going fishing. So, yeah, on a small plane into Meeker, I think I went.
Yep.
And then a driller picked me up in a dirty old Hino truck and rolled out. And
Had no idea what to expect.
well, no, I thought a hole was a fence post.
Yep.
And then we drive in and we go down a pit, and I'm looking at this rig in the bottom of the pit, and we're drilling. I said, like, what sort of fence are we going to put down here? I had no idea
Wow.
what it was about. I knew what the money was about. So a guy that I'd been in the same areas growing up as I, he was drilling, and he told me, you got to do this, you got to do that. So that's how it started.
Work it. So your early years drilling, run me through a little bit of that, mate.
It was a quick progression. It was pretty well. Actually, back then it wasn't a quick progression, but it was a learn. I was lucky enough to have good people back me.
Yep.
and see that I had something about me. So coming out of being a mechanic in Perth, it was pretty dead end sort of stuff.
Yep.
So then, I got into the drilling, and then I had an appetite for learning, and I whether it was an appetite for learning or I was lazy, because I'd look at the drilling thinking, what are you doing? How come I'm sweating and doing all this and you're not?
Yep.
I want to do what you're doing. And then the supervisor would come up, I want to do what you do.
Yep.
So then, I was on a path. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And
Running bags, running
bags,
rods.
Yeah, cool. So I was lucky enough to do multi-purpose.
Yep.
So we started with RC and then move on to another rig and then do diamonds. So, and then at that stage I could do both. Awesome. So RC pre-collars, change over, do your tails, and away you go. So that put you everywhere.
Yep.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, wicked. What was the turning point where you, from the levers to thinking, shit, how do I start my own business?
Well, it was a while. So I think I always wanted to. Early days, G&K bought the company that we work for, and it was about 5 rig thing, and it was only a few $1 million that he bought. Wally Unger bought this thing for. I'm thinking, how can this only be worth this when I know that they're getting paid X amount a metre? I'm thinking, well, that's where I need to be. So went on a mission from there. So early days as the offsider through to driller, and then I got went overseas. So a guy.
Where'd you go?
Well, Vietnam.
Oh,
the first
awesome.
stop. So that was 94 or 95. So that was pretty cool. So
did you have a favourite spot in Vietnam?
nah, we didn't experience much there.
Okay.
That was we went out and I think I did 5 months straight.
Wow.
Yeah. So this was in 95. There wasn't a US embassy. To make a telephone call back to Australia, you had to go. It was $5 US a minute.
Wow.
And it was one of those old
Exchanges.
Yeah. And to come back there, we just went into the bush, and then to get out of there, I think I only went to Hanoi a couple of times in the 5 months that I was in country.
Okay.
So we're given a rig, a sea container, and an old briefcase. The 3-digit briefcase, and we're in business. Myself and another guy working for East West Drilling, and off we went.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
pretty cool. And then that was it must have been 95, and then with that the foreign investment in Vietnam changed quickly. So with the introduction of all the international miners and all that, and the Vietnamese government obviously panicked with the Western money coming in so quick. They changed the rules, and we had to get the rig out really quick. So from there, we got the rig back to the port of Haiphong and put it into the Philippines. So I had a little period of time off and went to the US, and I had to get the boss to wire money. I had no credit card, I don't know. So he'd wire money to Western Union. I had 3 months off over there. And
What'd you do?
Cruise, 30-odd states.
Awesome.
Man.
Buy an old Impala or something and just...
Mustang, $600. It was $600, a Spanish chick, a German guy, and myself, and we did 30-odd states. And Yeah, in the end, I parked that at the short-term parking at Tom Bradley Airport and jumped on the plane and came back to Australia.
Still there.
Oh, maybe. Hope not.
That's a bloody fee and a half, isn't
Yeah,
it?
wouldn't it? Yeah, so, yeah, and then came back to Australia and then straight landed back here and had only a week or so off, and then I was straight into the Philippines. The rig was already over and then went over to the Philippines.
How long have you been over in the Philippines?
Yeah, almost a year.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. That was good and bad too. You know, lots of you would have spoken to expats about life experiences and all that there, and
Character building.
and dangerous.
Yep, very dangerous.
Yeah, so as a 25-year-old, I was taken by the NPA, the New People's Army. Yeah, so that was.
You're taken by them what? Back to where?
Yeah,
Some barracks or?
No. So they came and we were drilling down in a valley, and they surrounded the rig, and from the smallest kid with a little ging to the guy with a ground to surface, and they gave us a list of demands.
What were they?
Oh, it equated to about $200 worth of stuff. It wasn't a lot, but in the meantime, they and the guy was named Commander Ever, so yeah, he didn't live forever. And then,
I can imagine.
you know. So yeah, I was drilling there one time, and so just prior to that, I got a fax. So do you remember the old thermo faxes?
Yeah.
So it said, "Leave the rig immediately. Rebels are on the way to avenge the death of Jaguar, who was the name of a guy. You may get caught in the crossfire." So you've never seen someone try and pull out of a hole quick.
Mate, we need to make this into a movie somehow, right? This is bloody awesome, Chris.
Yeah. So my first drill hole in the Philippines as a 25-year-old would have been, I don't know, 40 metres away from a guy whose toes were still out of the ground. And the family were trying to exhume his body. And I wanted to dial the rig back and make it all quiet and and my guy said, you can't, because then you're going to show him respect and they'll want you in that hole.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was that. So we just kept drilling while the family's exhuming their son.
Oh my gosh, man, that's a lot.
I was 25.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so anyway, we stayed there, and then these rebels came and gave us a list of demands, and essentially it was just standover. In the end, It was it cost us about $200 a month, and we put two of them on night shift security.
Oh, cool.
And problem solved. And then every month we just delivered them rice and batteries and fish and tin food.
Awesome.
And that was it.
Yep,
And then we
looked
kept
after
drilling.
them. They looked after you.
Yeah, and then
How long were you there? So a year?
yeah, just short of a year I was in the Philippines for. Came back. Came back in 96, end of 96, something like that, yeah. And then went back to Cal, and I was drilling out of Cal for Stanley's by this stage. Then gold dropped under $300 an ounce.
Far cry from today, brother.
Yeah. So here's another turning point where the boss came out. I think West Coast had lost. No, they hadn't lost to Freo, but it was a bad day. They lost to Geelong or someone. And it was a Saturday. I might have had a hangover. And the boss comes out and he gets all the drillers and says, "Righto, guys, it's gold's dropped. Things aren't looking good. You're going to have to take a pay cut." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, we can't afford to pay you your bonus and your hourly rah." And essentially it worked out to be about $30 a day more than what a green offsider was getting.
Wow.
I said, "So hang on a second. You want us to be responsible for fingers, toes, client, gear, all this responsibility for $30? He goes, "Yeah, not me." Within 15 minutes, I was out of Kalgoorlie. Drove my XE Falcon out of Cal in 15 minutes, and I've never worked in Cal again.
Really? No. Just lost love for Kalgoorlie?
No, you've got to be rewarded.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, and I still
work.
I still think today you reward your people the best you can, and that's no reward.
Yep.
Yeah, and you can't. The difference between an offsider and a driller for $30 is probably a little bit.
Were they dropping the rate of the offsider?
No. I think that might have already been at fair work levels or whatever it was called back then.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
I don't think they could at that stage. Yeah. So that was out of Kalgoorlie, no job. Went sailing. So went over to the Whitsundays and jumped on a boat and hung out with a few guys for a while. And then one of the guys had just won a contract into the geotech investigation into Thredbo.
Okay.
So there'd been a landslide that had killed 18 people in
Yeah,
Thredbo.
I know about it, yeah.
So I went over there and started doing some heli work and some winching between trees and doing a geotech investigation into that.
You're a helicopter pilot?
No. I was at the bottom end, lining a rig up.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. I was just like, far out. Makes look, at the end of the day, there's some other drillers that I've spoken to, and they have their pilot's license, and so I wouldn't be surprised if
you ever get on a plane and they hear Captain Chris McMullen, get off, because I can't stay awake on a plane.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm the same, mate. I'm the same. Earbuds in, and then I'm out.
I'm out.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, 97 over east, geotech investigation, Threadbow. Worked for there for a while, and then it was a couple of years after that I bought first rig.
Yep, beautiful.
So, yeah.
And that's the start of core drilling.
No, that was the start of Newmac drilling. So
Okay.
for years I had a drilling company on the east coast and a drilling company on the west coast. So on the east coast we did environmental and geotech stuff,
Right.
and on the west coast, core was the mineral exploration.
Okay.
So and it was hard I couldn't put them all together, because on the east coast here we are trying to clean up and tidy everything up, and polluter pays and mobile, and they were my big clients doing environmental site assessments. And then here we are on the west coast digging
Just
big holes.
chopping big holes, yeah.
So I had to keep them separated and I sold that. I sold my east coast business 4 or 5 years ago, after
cool.
22 years. Yeah.
Wow. Was that difficult?
No, it was time.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was time. Things got pretty big, So for me alone, there was over 100 guys all up, and I wasn't comfy. There wasn't the space or the size that I liked.
Yep.
So yeah.
And then so you just concentrated on core from there after?
Yeah. So from 22, I think it was 21. So then I was always involved in core and had people in and out of core managing and that. But then, so my primary and sole focus became core, and, we geared up and invested and kept it moving and put it in the right direction, in the right space.
So core drilling has a strong reputation in this industry, certainly, in WA. What do you think sets your business apart from others?
You hear all the normal catch cries, the people, the product. We try... Safety service production is pretty much been our mantra forever and a day. We've invested heavily in technology. Keeping our people safe is probably where it's at, no hands on steel. As much as I can put no hands on steel, that's been my focus for quite some time.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what are you doing in that regard, like looking forward? Is focusing a lot more on automation?
Yep.
Focusing a lot more on green or electrification?
Yeah, decarbonisation. Yes, certainly there's been a push in decarbonisation. We're well on a path in our decarbonisation planning. How fast that gets there, I think that's still really dependent on battery storage.
Definitely.
So that's sort of where...
And even battery storage heading up north in those 50-degree days, 48, the batteries aren't quite there to handle that type of heat.
Yeah.
So.
And then consumption too. So an RC rig on a battery, show me.
Yeah.
I'll be onto it, but you show me who's doing it, and I'll be onto it.
Yeah.
So but that's sort of where we're at there. Keeping people away from the line of fire, hands off steel, and then the automation of our gear, and then doing that as best we can, and with a little bit of a twist where we can do stuff that others can't. That gives us somewhat of an advantage.
Yep.
Keeping earthworks down for a client's always good. So that's
beautiful, mate. You've got a bit of a slogan, the core drilling way.
We do. Yeah.
What is this about?
This is how we do it, and it's been created over many years, and then we promote from within. Primarily, we try and promote from within.
Yep.
And someone comes in, they know the core drilling way, and then as they go through the ranks, they then share that with the next lot coming through.
Would you say the industry's a little bit cutthroat at the moment, because drilling's pumping? Like mining companies, the industry's pumping. Everyone wants bloody drill rigs out there. All I've got to do is drive through Kalgoorlie and see that there's no
rigs in the yard.
No rigs in the yard, and that's what they say. You start to see the signs of a downturn when you're driving through West Cal and there's rigs parked up. If there's not a rig in sight, then she's bloody fair flying.
It's always been like that.
Yeah.
Market's strong. Well, it's getting stronger. I see more interest. I notice there's lots of companies, everyone's drilling for gold now.
Yep.
So there's obviously
Should be hard. You'd be silly not to.
yeah. So that's you can see that happening through and through. Yeah.
Do you have rigs up north? You're doing iron ore. What minerals are you out there punching for clients?
Yeah. Gold and iron ore
Yeah,
is where we're at. We've had a pretty strong client in the Pilbara, and then majority of our assets have been in the Pilbara for quite some time. And that gives us a little bit of a competitive advantage, I think, where we've just had a good client for a long time, or good clients, and then we service them well, and they seem to be happy. For the best part of it, they're happy.
Beautiful. Looking back, what advice would you give to someone wanting to go out and bloody start their own business?
Oh, would you? I don't know.
There's people out there that just want to get out there and give it a crack.
Yeah, back yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, back yourself. If I could change something that I do, I'd probably hang around under guidance of someone that a mentor longer than I did. So I bought my first rig at 27 or something years old.
Yep.
And you know who your friends are when you've got a drill rig and you need something.
Yep.
Because at the start, it's tough. And as much as we are an industry and we all, as time goes by, you build your networks and you help. Yeah, and we always, you always, if you got something, you lend it.
Yep.
But at the start, and even some technical advice on some difficult stuff, it's tough. So learn as much as you can and probably understand. I had zero financial literacy. Like I didn't know what a balance sheet was. I didn't know what a P&L and cash flow. Fuck, what's that? Yeah. So I think invoice number 001 for me, they didn't want to pay.
Really?
Yeah. And there were stages there where I was, paying wages on cash advance on a credit card. Yeah. So yeah, it was.
I've heard that story time and time again.
That's what you do.
Yeah, for sure. It's that struggle street.
Yeah.
Builds you.
You got to back yourself.
That's exactly right.
Just keep going. Head down, bum up, go.
So you've been in the industry more than 25 years, mate?
I think that's wrong.
Is it? How many years?
35. Yeah.
Chris, you've been in the industry 35 years, mate.
Yeah.
Right?
Sad. Yeah.
No, not good. Sad. It's what an industry to be a part of. You would have seen some bloody changes in that time, right?
Yeah. In every space in it too, even from the juniors down to mid tiers and the tier ones. The whole space has changed. Hook and clamshell, like early days, hook and clamshell, running RC rods, hook and clamshell, and now, with all our automated rod handling and that. What I do know is that with all the technology and everything that's changed, a diamond rod doesn't last any more meters in 2025 as what it did in 1990.
Wow. Okay.
So you used to line a rig up by eye and you'd spin rods in by hand. And then now we have tooling machinery to put in and out, and our rods don't last as long as what they did back then.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you put that down to?
Well, they don't line them up, and you've got a mechanical aid that just spins it in. It'll smoke it. Whereas when you used to have to line it up, you made sure that rig was lined up perfectly so you could spin the rods in.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Oh, that's good for someone. Those suppliers.
Yeah, suppliers. Yeah. They'd love it.
Yeah. Right, mate. Beyond drilling, right? So you back the community. You get in behind lots of various different things. You want to go into a little bit of that?
Yeah, well, I've just got back from Variety. So South Australian Variety. So why South Australia, I don't know. I ended up in South Australia with some other drilling-related guys. And I think the team I'm in, we go as the Wiggles. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool.
And obviously, crowd pleaser. Like, it's easy.
Yeah.
And
kids love it.
Yeah. And then over the 10 years that the team's been going, just short of 900K we've raised.
Wow,
yeah.
Congratulations,
and as
mate.
a team, yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's really good.
That's humbling too. So when you roll up to an outskirts in regional Australia and you see kids in need and a grant's been made for a kid to have modifications to a car so they can make it to their appointments with their family, it's pretty humbling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't usually get a wet eye very often.
Neither do I, but there's been a couple of occasions late where I have.
How does it work on a plane? How come you get one on a plane when you're either flying home? Why does that work?
I don't know.
You can watch some crazy movie and you think, geez, my eyes are leaking.
It's probably some of the spray that they're throwing around the plane.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's humbling for me and I enjoy that. Engagement with Indigenous.
Yep.
So I had a couple of guys out of Yalgoo that were instrumental in teaching me how to drill, some Aboriginal guys.
Awesome.
So that's always good. And then that's probably been, and then coming out of Port Hedland too. Yeah. So my Indigenous engagement and that I still enjoy.
Yeah.
You never forget where you start and just keep going there.
Yeah, that's awesome, mate.
So that's good. And then nothing's better than finding the right candidate to go through and get them all the way through and Cert 3. And they came in and pretty much though education was missed. They might have had a missed opportunity, might have spent a bit of time banged up, and then they can come with core, well, with anyone, I guess, in the industry. We all have the ability to do it.
That's awesome.
And then roll them out a couple of years later as a driller. And
she's hard. Drilling's a tough gig, right?
So I've got one now where he's been with me for 5 or 6 years, or 5 years, and the whole way couldn't keep a job, he struggled, and he's bought his home, house and land, and walked me all the way through, invited me to the housewarming, wanted me to be part of what core drilling was able to do.
That's inspiring.
Yeah, so that was pretty.
That's
cool.
really inspiring.
I did enjoy that.
Yeah. Did you get a hand up like that when you were younger?
No.
Nah, mate. Nah. But neither did I. And I think that when the opportunity arises that you can help others, then it's in the best interest of the community and everyone around us to do the same thing.
Just do it.
Do the right bloody thing.
It's not hard.
No. Mate, last one from me. Do you have, well, actually second to last, you got a most memorable core drill result that you've ever pulled?
A result result.
Most memorable core.
Let's put that down to a hole.
Okay.
18 daughters off one hole. Took 18,000 metres off one hole. The mother went down 2,053 metres, and then we just daughted off, and I think we might have done 14 or 16 cuts off that or something.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was big, and the rig stayed there for the best part of 9 months or something on one hole.
So the company would have been bloody wrapped with that.
Yeah. Well, that's still producing gold today. Bullion Hulu in Tanzania. So what we did there in 2000. We probably should step back. When I started core, I'd run out of money, or I'd started a drilling company. I'd run out of money because no one taught me about this cash flow. I had to go overseas, and so after Vietnam, Philippines, I had to go to Tanzania and Africa to put money back into core to keep it running.
Yep, beautiful.
And then, worked for Stanley's over there in Tanzania for a year in 2000, and that Bullion Hulu is still producing gold today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right, mate. This is my last one.
Righto.
What does the next 12 to 18 months hold for core drilling services?
Maybe divesting some of the older equipment, more innovation, technology improvements. We've just secured another rig with a broader, which is going to open up another bit of a network for us. So probably a bit more investment in our people and our gear.
Yep, beautiful. Look, two very important things of running a business: people first, gear second.
Yeah,
safety's paramount.
Yeah.
So look, mate, I've really enjoyed listening to your bloody story.
Cheers.
Renee, that soft buttery voice that we were talking about earlier, eh? Bloody hell! I think you might have missed your calling. You should have been a bloody radio.
We've actually got a guy at work. They don't let me do the audio at work. We've got a guy at work that's better.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, should have brought him on. Mate, look, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's awesome to learn about you first and foremost, and also the hard work that goes into building a business. As you know, drive, dedication, perseverance, and learning about a P&L sheet. Bloody all else does.
Quite a little bit important, right? Cash flow.
Bloody oath.
Take care. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much for tuning into another episode on The Gold Room. It was awesome to have Chris in the studio. Make sure you jump down into the comments and ask some questions. If you're interested in a job with core drilling, make sure you reach out. Reach out to Renee or Chris. Thank you very much.